Nowadays they play your production, Nifes in Greece, Brides.
Oh yes, yeah,
Yes.
with the
And it-
Pantelis film.
And
Yeah.
it already won 10 awards.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
At the
I didn't
Thessaloniki
know
Film
that.
Festival.
Well, that's
But
fantastic.
Elise has to call you.
Oh, really? No, that's a beautiful film. It's a beautiful film, and you know, it took a long time. Ilya Kazan introduced me to Mr. Vulgaris, and Pantelis came, and then he gave us this project, and somehow they all pulled it together. They did a wonderful job. The actors are so great in it.
You also had a special relationship with Greek because of Kazantzakis.
Yes, Mr. Kazantzakis' book, Last Temptation of Christ. That's right. That's right. And when I went to New York University, coming from a Sicilian American area, part of my learning of the outside world was through my Greek friends who were students who would come from Greece, learning different things about politics and more interest in Greek tragedy and the Greek myths and going back to Homer. All of this stuff was happening at the same time in New York University while I was beginning to study cinema, and our teachers there were Armenians. Greeks and Armenians for me were very formative.
Do you think that the life in the United States, after all these events that have happened the last 2 or 3 years, has changed? Because I know that because you're a New York lover and...
It's changed. It's changed in a way we never thought would happen, but there's no doubt, I think, it's almost as if it's back to 1951 or 52. It's very difficult in terms of saying something on film, I would think. And after this past election, we see that there is a major split in the country. You know, in a way, there are people who think completely the opposite. And I don't know where it's gonna go. I mean, you can't give up. You keep fighting for what you think is right, and this country still has that. At least we can go and push for what we think is right. And but there is an extraordinary sense of being very careful about what you have to say.
Do you think that sky is the limit? Because in this film, The Aviator, the basic character doesn't think that thing.
Oh, this is what's interesting to me is that the whole story to me reminds me, because it deals with the young Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes I didn't realize, I didn't know about, this young visionary who's obsessed with speed. But it reminds me of the Greek mythology of the labyrinth, Mykonos, exactly. The labyrinth, the Minotaur in the labyrinth. Daedalus creates the labyrinth, right? The Minotaur is in the middle. The monster is in the middle of the labyrinth. And Daedalus wants his son Icarus to fly away. So he makes wax wings for him to fly away. He tells him, don't go too close to the sun. And he does, of course, like Howard does.
You also do.
Yeah, but the thing is but I think Howard was trying to escape was the labyrinth was his own mind. The labyrinth was him. The Minotaur monster was him. And he flies away, but he can't get there.
It was really a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we just had these 3 minutes.
Yes.
First of all, congratulations for this wonderful performance. I hope that you will receive the Oscar this year.
Sorry, we're going to have to interrupt. We need you to sit more to your right.
All right. Is it better this way?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah, just relax and sit, to your right.
Okay, that's okay.
There you go.
Relax, but sit to your right.
Okay.
I also have a director on my back.
You have speed.
Howard Hughes was a visionary tycoon whose brilliance was swallowed up by his madness. I would like to ask you, are there any moments in your life that you felt that your brilliance and talent were swallowed up by your own personality?
That's an interesting question. I relate to Howard Hughes in some ways, his obsessiveness. Certainly when we initially read the script, we read about a man who's on a film set for 4 years trying to make a giant epic that has all kinds of things going wrong. And I know Scorsese and I both said, wow, we really, even if this guy wasn't the greatest filmmaker in the world, the fact that he was so obsessed with the perfection of making that film was something that was really attractive to us. And then you start to look at all the walks of his life: aviation, women, germs. He was obsessed with everything, and he would not stop until he, felt things were perfect. I don't feel that way. I mean, I'm not like that to Howard Hughes' degree. Only with cinema, only with making movies is the way I feel that obsessed.
So cinema is your passion in life?
Pretty much, man. It's the only thing that I've ever known I really, really wanted to do.
And starting your career when you were, I think, 12 or 13 years old, does that thing make you feel different between the others?
You know, I remember wanting to be an actor even before that. You know, I always thought that acting was one of those elite clubs that people belong to that I could never be a part of. And I didn't, even though ironically I was born and raised in Hollywood, I didn't know you could become an actor and have it be a profession. And you know, it's a dream come true for me to be able to, you know, be in this position and, you know, alter the course of my own destiny with these films.
I read that when you had your first audition with Robert De Niro, you stand it up and shout no. So, do you usually say no to achieve your targets?
Do I usually say no to achieve my targets? There is a lot of no going on, because you know, film to me is as relevant an art form as painting or sculpture. We're in the, you know, the juvenile states of film. It's only 100 years of cinema, but I believe that, you know, 1,000 years from now, people are going to be looking at great films like great paintings. You know, I'm curious to see where film will progress in the next 1,000 years, and I want to be a part of great paintings. You know what I mean? I want to be a part of. I want to make sure I have enough time to prepare and put enough thought into each film that I do, and work with hopefully great people, and I'm getting to do that. And
you already do that thing.
thank you, buddy.
Titanic has marked your life. After 7 years, do you also have that feeling that some people, they still remember you as the Titanic guy and not as Leonardo DiCaprio, the talented actor?
I have no regrets about making that movie. It's been one of those films that has broken every cultural boundary. It's gone beyond even a movie. You know what I mean? Go anywhere in the world and people know that film. Trust me, I know. But to be a part of something special like that, that touched so many people, is something how could I ever regret? And not only that, it's given me so many great more opportunities to do films like this. You know, other films that probably wouldn't be able to be financed if it weren't for Titanic.
And an extremely small question, only for Greek interest. Are you going to play finally Alexander the Great?
I don't know if you know this, but there was recently a film about Alexander the Great, so we can't do it. If it is to be done, it won't be anytime soon.
Thank you very much.
But
for
it
your
is a
time.
fascinating story, man. Wow, one of the best characters to play. And
Did you enjoy this film?
I actually liked it. I mean, there's some things, you know, but you know, I like the history element of it. I like learning about Alexander and the battle sequences and stuff like that.
That's also my name, so.
Oh, really?
Alexander. That's a very small gift for you.
Oh, thank you.
It's Warrior Beans.
Thank you.
Do you mind signing me?
No problem.
Thank you very much.
To Alexander?
Yes. You say that. Ευχαριστώ. Have you ever been in Greece? Oh,
That's so sweet of you, thank you.
It was really a pleasure. I enjoyed your playing since I've seen for first time The Shooting Feast.
Really?
They had the first premiere in Greece, and we also had the director.
Yeah.
And they told me that unfortunately you couldn't join this premiere.
Yes, I think I may have been pregnant or something
Oh.
at the time.
So you're also a lovely mother?
I have a 6-year-old, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. And how is being a mother?
It's the best thing ever. Yeah, yeah. Acting used to be my favorite thing.
Well, first of all, congratulations for this wonderful performance. In this film you play Ava Gardner, one of the sexiest symbols in the whole world. And Ava Gardner used to say, when I lose my temper, honey, you can't find it anyplace. Do you think that you have a lot of common things with her?
I mean, that was something I really had to, you know, had to try and find the similarities. I'm not probably quite as explosive, no. But I think that, you know, we both have kind of a foul mouth and a good spirit. And I really responded to her humour and her passion and her warmth. And with any character, you try and find those, you know, parts of yourself that correspond. But no, I don't really smash things and shout very much.
She also used to say, being an actor is something that nobody calls it an intellectual profession. What's your opinion about it?
She said that?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're very lucky and the people that you're working with and the material that you get to do like this, then it does feel intellectual, emotional, spiritual, you know, all in one go. And that's why it's so addictive, because you're always chasing that experience. But, you know, there are many times where you think, you know, I think I'd be stimulating my brain cells a bit more if I worked in McDonald's, you know. It doesn't take a rocket science degree to wear a dress and stand there.
And the also funny thing was that she used to work for 17 years under one contract with MGM. Do you think that sometimes, even if we are bound with something, that makes us more free?
I mean, from what I can gather from all the reading I've done about women of that period, I think, I think there was a safety to the studio system and a terrible oppression to it as well. And some people were lucky that they got some the good jobs through it. But I think there's nothing worse than having to put yourself through, things you don't want to do over and over again.
Working with Martin Scorsese must be probably a unique experience, as everybody almost said. I would like to hear your point of view about this collaboration.
Working with him is what you imagine when you're, 15 years old and you think what being, an actor on a movie set is like that. It's the absolutely best circumstances. It's somebody who's excited about what they're doing and has impeccable taste and incredible manners and gentleness and kindness, and you feel like you're kind of, in a group together, really kind of finding the exciting new thing, and that's lovely.
Howard was also a control freak, and he used to also go inside the lives of other people. Do you think that anybody, even from love, have the right to go into the life of anybody else?
No, I think that, that old thing of if you love something, set it free is definitely true. I think holding on to something really tightly is fear rather than love, and I think that very much shows through in the movie.
You're going to play in the sequel of Underworld. If you had the one unique opportunity to bite somebody and drink his blood, who would that be and why?
To bite somebody? Who would I bite? In a friendly way or an aggressive way?
You will tell me.
Who would I bite? I might bite Leo, just because he's so good in the movie.
Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure meeting you.
You too.
Hope you
Yeah.
It was.
Did you go back to Greece after Venice?
Yes.
You did.
And after Venice, yes, I returned back to Greece. After that, I had a small trip in London.
Oh,
and
good.
now here I am.
Here we are.
First Bill.
We're rolling? Oh, that's great. For Howard, sky wasn't the limit. For you, what's the limit?
Hopefully, there are no limits, in terms of, it depends, like martinis, the limit is 3. Red wine, the limit is 1 bottle. In terms of acting, I hope that I'm never limited, but.
Mm-hmm. And also, man, from the day that he was born, he had this vision of flying because that made him feel extremely free. What's the thing that makes you in real life free?
Makes me personally
Yes.
feel free? Just getting outside in nature, I suppose, getting away from urban life.
But you do stay in the United States?
Yeah.
So-
But, I live in Los Angeles, so you can drive 20 minutes in any direction and civilization drops off, whether you're in the mountains or at the ocean. Or...
So you do have these opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
That's really great. But because you're a workaholic, you're working in, 2 or 3 films every year.
Well, yeah, it seems like I'm a workaholic, but I actually tend to group them together and then take long periods of time off, so I'm lucky that way.
That means that everybody can use his time the way that he really wants it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's the second time that you're working with Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio. Was it something like just a situation, or you really wanted to do that thing?
No, of course I really wanted to do it. I was just lucky that they asked me. They were thinking about doing this movie for a while. And during the time that we were promoting Gangs of New York, people started to talk about it already. So I was just pleased to be asked to be on the team again,
If you had to choose between Gangs of New York and The Aviator, which would you choose and why?
I don't know. I've seen Gangs a whole bunch of times now, and I've only seen The Aviator once, so I guess I would choose The Aviator if you asked me today, but...
How was the feeling at the premiere?
That was really fun. Yeah, it was at the Man's Chinese Theater here in Los Angeles, and a lot of the action in the film takes place at Man's Chinese. Howard's big premiere when he did Hell's Angels was there, so sort of the movie reflecting life, reflecting the movie, it's very interesting.
They say that it's really hard to separate the persona of a director from the things that he has already done. And I would like to ask you, because I know that you quitted the second part of the film of Lars von Trier, Dogville. Was it because of his persona or of something else?
I don't know. I've never worked with him.
Oh, it was written on the internet that you were planning to make with him the second part.
Well, you can't believe everything you read on the internet.
Good point.
Yeah.
What are the things that you really believe in your life?
What do I really believe? That's a very big question.
Take your time. We
f-
just have 1 minute.
In 30 seconds or less? I don't know. I don't know. I believe in hard work, and I don't know.
That's super. Unfortunately, that
I
was
believe
all.
in peace on earth. How about that? For a general answer. Yeah.
That's really a good answer, and especially nowadays after the hit of the 11th of September and the hit in
Yeah.
Iraq and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
All
It was
right.
really a pleasure seeing you
Yeah,
again.
so